I hate gift giving and receiving.
Receiving gifts is so weird. What do you say? Thank you?
This is Coffee Convos with Kail Lowry and Lindsie Chrisley.
I really want you to be in your feels, Kail.
That does not interest me whatsoever.
I feel very attacked by you.
A spirited discussion about motherhood, friendship, family, and life in the public eye.
I'm just not with the fakery anymore.
There's a fakery bakery around here.
Here's Kail and Lindsie.
Hello, everyone.
I love that voice. How are you?
Coffee combos. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Most of the time when I get on here, I've had an unwell time, but I feel in a much better place than I was last week when we recorded. I was rather heated, so I feel a lot more calm today.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm always happy to hear that. We love good news. This morning was my kid's first day of school.
First of all, first days of school, like, did your kids get first day jitters?
They were all nervous.
They were?
All three of them. Creed obviously is too young to fully understand what's happening. He was not a happy camper when I dropped him off, but the three older ones were very nervous.
So with that many children, first day of school, okay, do you go school supply shopping for your kids before school starts? Like, what does the process of that look like? Also, are they required to lay their clothes out the night before? Like, how do you structure that chaos?
So I do go I do go school supply shopping like well in advance, like weeks in advance. As soon as I get the list, I will get everything typically on Amazon and online because I'm not taking all my kids. And it's just a lot. So I like to have the list on my phone and then get the stuff on my computer so that I can kind of just like look back and forth. I don't have to like constantly go back and check. And then the night before school, everyone has to pick out their outfits and lay it out. Showers. We were up a little bit later than I anticipated last night because Lux had to get his hair braided and I wanted it to be nice and fresh for today. So I didn't want it to be too many days old. And then they got their haircuts in the morning. Lux got braids at night. They laid their outfits out. They showered. They did all of that. And we were under the impression that Isaac started at 7:15. So he was panicking, thinking that he was late, but I had checked my email and they actually said he doesn't have to be there until 7:55. So so when I woke up, I had my alarm set. He was already up panicking, thinking that he was late. And I was like, or that he was going to be late. He didn't even want to eat breakfast or anything. I'm like, Isaac, it's okay. Like, you're fine. You're not going to be late. The school emailed and said 7:55. So we're good to go. And everything went smoothly until Creed saw Link get out of the car. That's when Creed lost his shit. He was very upset and didn't want to see Lincoln leave.
Oh, bless his heart. Wait, I've got to go back to Isaac freaking out about the school time because I can specifically remember when I was in high school and I started driving myself that I would like occasionally have these tardies. And I thought, like my parents weren't finding out about this. Mm-hmm. Well, they did. They definitely found out about it. And Todd was like, if you can't get your ass out of the bed, then you are going to have your driving privileges revoked. And like to a high schooler, to tell them that they're going to have their driving privileges revoked and like you have to show up in the freaking Escalade with your elementary school siblings and the carpool line of your high school, it's not the best time. And so I would freak out. I would like go to bed. I was such an early go to bed person in high school. Like literally, Kail, when I say early, I would go to bed like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Same. I did not like staying up on school nights because I had such a hard time getting up in the morning.
It was so bad. And I don't know at what point like I stopped really caring about my personal appearance in high school, but like for a long period of time, I needed to like get up and straighten my hair, curl my hair, whatever. So I would go to bed early and I would find myself waking up at like freaking 4 o'clock in the morning. And I had convinced myself, and this happened like a lot of times, I'd convinced myself that I had overslept and I would full blown like be rushing around in my bathroom trying to get ready, get my school clothes on, and then realize it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
Talk about pissed off.
4 a.m.
Like, what?
What in the hell? Why did you? I'm so confused.
I know other people did this as well. Like, I'm not the only person that did this, and I need everybody to write in and tell me that you also had this experience.
Like, that's happened like once or twice in my whole life.
Have you never like overslept or like thought that you overslept and then you got up and rushed around and then you're like, wait, like I'm really not late. I just have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, but not like several times. It's only happened like once or twice.
Okay, Kail, sue me about it. Okay. Like, I saw the picture of your kids. It just looks like mass chaos. I'm like, first of all, how do you even buy that many pairs of shoes? Like,
that's the hardest part, is like making sure that everyone has like everything that they need. And every year I do 2 pairs of shoes, because typically they'll switch out like halfway through the year. But it is pure chaos. But this morning went so smoothly. There was no tears except for, when Link got out of the car and Creed was upset. But
so crazy. No, last night I was like, how am I going to do everything that I need to do the next day? Do you ever like stress out about that?
Yes.
When you know, like you have a busy day coming up and you're just like, okay, I just need to get it to that day because I'm actually stressing out about all the things that I know that I'm going to need to do. So I might as well just go ahead and start doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went to the Clemson game at Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta last night. Clemson pulled out a dub. So go Tigers. Great time. Really, really good time. I was going to take Jackson to the game, and Will shut that down. He was like,
Why?
It's a school night. And so the game didn't start until 8:00. And I'm like, I get it. But also, like, it's just really not that big of a deal to me. Also, you've taken him to a Braves game, and he said, well, yeah, but that was playoffs, so it's different. So
it's not different. Okay.
I'm like, the time doesn't change the fact that it's the same time.
I mean, if it was a school night, regardless, it doesn't matter whether it was the playoffs or not.
Wait, I have to tell you this thing. So last week, whenever I was just like going off about Will, I had to text him for something. And obviously, like, kitty gang group chats like popping off, right? So who knows? There's probably like a spy in there.
For sure there's spies in there.
There's no way for us to like really know. But he started voice memoing me instead of typing it out.
Who did?
So that I couldn't screenshot it.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Chris used to do that to me too.
Really?
Yeah, because he figured it out. Like, obviously I would have them, but like you can't screenshot them and post them.
Oh yeah. So this is what I was dealing with. Just like, wait, what? Okay. And then there's this other really funny thing too. I was like, you need to mind you, this is in group text with Kristen. And so she's probably just like, I need to immediately exit this chat, but also I need to know all the information in this chat because I'm the person that's dealing with emails. I'm like, Will, you need to respond timely to the emails. And he's like, literally, I need to see if I can find the text because it was just like so wildly dumb.
Wildly dumb.
Kristen's probably like, okay. Oh, wait. Okay. I told him, I said, I have extended grace on the timeline to rectify these issues. I can't tell you guys the rest, but Will goes, I'm in the process of responding to Kristen's email while taking a shit. If you'd leave me the fuck alone, maybe I can get things done.
He said that?
Yeah.
Wait, he was taking a shit?
Yeah. And I'm like,
he said that?
So you're answering emails on the shitter? Like co-parenting emails on the shitter? Like, at the point that you felt that it was only important to respond to emails that have been sitting in your inbox for days and you thought about it when you were taking a shit, tells me everything that I need to know.
Right. You're like, I'm
alarmed.
Yeah.
Very alarmed by that. Also wanted to tell you that I had therapy last week.
How'd that go?
Did you go to therapy last week?
I didn't because I was on vacation.
Oh, that's right. Well, obviously my therapy was definitely surrounding co-parenting because that was, the task at hand. And basically just sometimes you feel like your therapist is just like your friend that you can confide in and they're just going to give you like great advice and you know for a fact they're not going to steer you wrong.
Yes.
Because that's how I feel too. So as I'm telling all of this story, she tells me that I just need to have intentional focus and genuine intent whenever I'm engaging with my ex-husband. And that when conversations seem like they are turning into things that we shouldn't be discussing, that it's okay for me to say, hey, like that's not appropriate and we aren't going to discuss this, so that we can really focus on the things that matter. Because I think sometimes when we're trying to co-parent with someone that we once were romantically involved with, it's really hard to separate underlying feelings. Not that I have romantic feelings towards him, but at one point we did. So I feel like it's sometimes hard to just think linear and be like, okay, we are just like strictly business, strictly focusing on our kid. I think that's why it's so hard.
It's going to be hard for a long time, actually. It's going to be, but once you get there, you'll get there and it'll all be worth it.
But do you feel like you have arrived there with any of your kids' dads?
I mean, I feel like Joe and Javi, yeah.
But do you occasionally, is it always pretty smooth at this point? Or do you feel like you occasionally still have engagements where you're like, okay, I'm engaging with this person in this way because I was romantically involved with them at some point?
No, I don't think that I have that with Joe or Javi at this point. Like Javi and I's issues, like right now we're back to email only. He's a complete dick. He sent me a really nasty text message while I was on vacation because I spoke highly of his family on the podcast. But anyway.
Wait, you got cussed out because of coffee combos?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we always getting cussed out about coffee combos from our ex-husbands?
I don't know, because I spoke highly of his family and he told me don't ever talk about his family. I'm not allowed. He said that I'm being fake about how close we are and how good they are. And I'm not allowed to talk about his mom and don't ever ask his sister for anything. And it's like, these are all adults and you don't get to dictate what they do and they don't do. And I highly, highly, highly doubt that they have any idea that you're acting like a complete fucking moron and acting like this. And they're able to make their own decisions. So you may not like me, but they're going to be nice to me and they're nice to my kids. So I'm not, and I just blocked his number. Like I didn't even respond. I didn't put a thumbs up. I didn't do any of that. But when it comes to Lincoln, I'm so far beyond like engaging in the bullshit at this point. But with Chris, there's still bullshit. So I don't know.
Well, I think as far as like the ex-husbands and stuff are concerned, because that seems to be like our biggest issue that we both collectively face, that this is also our lives, right? And so you don't get to dictate what we choose to talk about when we choose to talk about it when it applies.
And that's what that's been my whole argument. So he'll tell me, oh, for the millionth time, stop talking about me. And I'm like, for the millionth time, this is my life. For the millionth time, this has been my life for the past 5 years. Like I'm going to talk about something as I see fit and as it applies to the conversation. And I don't know how many times I can say that.
Literally.
And you don't get to dig. I understand that's your family. I understand that's your mom. I don't reach out to your parents for anything other than when I'm saying hi to them at games and stuff. And yeah, they do give my kids hugs. And yeah, they are grandma. And he was really pissed off about it. I could read you the text, actually. I'll post it. And this is the thing, like when he sends me shit like that, it makes me want to be spiteful because I'm like, okay, now you've pissed me off.
Well, because there is no two-way thinking. Sometimes I feel like I pretty much look at the situation as a whole and I'm like, okay, well, if this was happening to me, I probably would feel a type of way about it, but also I know what I signed up for.
I don't understand. Why do they think they get to dictate what we do? Because I don't care about what they do.
Do you ever dream of starting something game-changing? Then Visa can help make it happen. Maybe it's creating and selling your own customized kicks for cats, or transforming your dorm into a plushy pop-up shop, or finally going mainstream with your streaming side hustle.
Or maybe you want to make school lunches the night before so you're not scrambling in the morning, or laying your kids' outfits out the night before as well. So also there's no chaos.
But whatever you're bold enough to try, Visa has the power to help bring your game-changing ideas to life. Visa, anyone can change the game.
I'm Jamie Beebe.
And I'm Jake Deptula. We're the host of the Strictly Stalking podcast.
Strictly Stalking is a true crime podcast that explores stalking stories told by the survivors in their own words.
Join us every Tuesday as we interview survivors, advocates, and experts to give you a deep dive into the workings of a stalking case.
Would you know where to turn if you or someone you know is being stalked? We'll also give you the resources to fight back, know your rights, and get justice.
Find Strictly Stalking wherever you listen to podcasts from Podcast One.
I'll read my last text to Will if you read your text from Hobby.
Okay.
This was mine. Kat got your tongue. Are you conferring with your attorney girlfriend about how you're going to spend 100 G's on attempting to sue me? Inquiring minds want to know.
Shut up. Lindsie, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Did he answer you?
Absolutely not.
He
They're
didn't?
probably trying to figure out how to spell sue.
Good.
I can't.
Well, I got accused of creating a fake narrative. But it's like literally, Hobby, every single person at football and every single person at basketball sees us interact. They see your parents say hi to my children. They see your sister say hi to us. And that's where it's at. It's not like we're hanging out outside of this, but when I do see them, they are good to my kids. He says, and I literally just blocked him. I did not respond. For the 1 millionth time, stop talking about my family. Stop creating this fake narrative that my family is a part of your life. You have a boyfriend. Keep me and my family out of your podcast, out of your life, period. Don't ask Lydia to do you favors. Boundaries. Stop living off this narrative that we're all so close. We are not the same. I think he meant live your life, but he put love your life.
Yeah, he definitely meant live.
Figure your shit out. We are email only after this message. Never ever fucking talk about my mom and that's grandma. You don't know half the shit. I'm sick of this fucking narrative you try to portray. These kids are going to be traumatized and I'm disgusted that you think it's a laughing matter. I will make sure my son comes out on top.
Well, I mean, aren't you also making sure that your son comes out on top?
So what's crazy is that he sent me that message. I was sitting on the couch at our Airbnb and Lincoln's behind me and he tilted his head and he read it before I saw it because my phone was unlocked and open.
Oh God.
He saw the first message and I immediately started crying because Javi has this way of being able to hurt me in other ways that Chris and Joe can't. And I do think that part of it is because we were married. And so when Javi says things like this, I get really emotional and I was so upset. And he was like, why is my dad being mean to you? And I looked at him and I said, you know, this is adult stuff. I said, don't worry about it. I said, but I want you to know that no matter what, I said, I love your grandparents. I said, and I love your Nina, which is his Lydia. I said, they've always been good to me. I said, and I have nothing but respect and I'm thankful for them. And that's all I need you to know. And he was like, okay. And then I said, don't worry about what your dad said. Just go play.
It's just so crazy, but I'm going to...
I wouldn't ever be like, oh, we're so close. We hang out all the time. Like, it's very different. They're saying hi to my kids at a game. They say hi to me at a game and we don't sit together, but we do, say hi, how
cordial.
Are you? Very, very cordial. Things like that. And the other thing is like literally 2 weeks ago, Javi was like, I'm always going to be here for you if you need anything. He called me for the tea about, before I even said it on the podcast with the cop that happened with the state trooper. Cause I had gone to that game and there was only like a few minutes left, on that Sunday. He called me and was like, hey, like, you never miss games. Like, I just want to make sure you are right. And so it's always like, I never know when it's not okay and when it is okay. Does that make sense?
Well, I always say this to Will over the past year. If you're going to be an asshole to me,
be an asshole all the time.
Just be a consistent asshole because at least I know what to expect.
And see, that's the thing. I don't know what to expect because like I said, sometimes he's like, I'm always going to be here for you. Like as friends, like whatever, we're cool. We'll joke around at football and stuff. And then other times it's like, I want to be in a relationship and you're going to ruin it. And it's like, by how?
Okay. So I was going to speculate because I feel like this also applies to my ex-husband. That I think that when they try to romantically get involved with someone, that's when we receive this type of backlash.
Yeah, but I don't care. Like I would never, what I meant
I think your girls are tuning in to what we are saying and then feeling a type of way about it. And it's like, literally, ma'am, like, no offense. If I wanted your man, I would just have to sneeze. Like that's all that would happen. So like, don't get it twisted. Keep tuning in. Like that's great for you, but I wouldn't have to do any hard work to get him.
Oh, 100%.
I don't want him.
100%.
I gave him away to the streets.
I gave him away to the streets.
So I think that that's probably what happens is, or in Javi's situation, he has 2 baby moms. So I'm just wondering if there's like also conflict, like when you're saying certain things, like is it causing conflict somewhere else?
His parents and his sister being friendly to us at games in no way, shape, or form is us being close and me portraying a false narrative and that should never affect any type of relationship, whether it's with Lauren or anybody else. Me saying that like my kids look to his mom as, you know, grandma, that's grandma, like, or them saying hi and her giving my kids hugs and kisses and things like that, it should never, like that. To me, you're creating the false narrative by texting me that because everyone sees it. Literally everyone knows how we interact. So I feel like maybe he is involved with someone and they forced his hand to send that message. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's what it seems like to me.
I don't know.
Or like he felt like he had to do that to like prove a point, to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing, you know?
Right.
I could see that happening.
Well, I never had malicious intent or ill intent, or I was never trying to start shit. Like I was speaking highly of them.
And the reason I'm saying this is because so many people sent me messages from last week's episode about how I think that maybe Will was not allowing Jackson to have his phone at his house so that maybe he could try to like show his attorney girlfriend that I call Will's phone. And it's like, bro, like that's the only way I can get in touch with my son while he's with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the other thing. The other baby dad I have won't answer the phone when I call.
Well, you know, he wants to hold me to this standard of like, okay, you call it, you know, 7 or whatever. Last night I put a timer on my phone so that I could specifically call at that time. Try to call Jackson's phone, no answer because he's taken it. Text Will and I'm like, 7:01. Where is he?
Not 7:01, Lindsie.
And he's like, he's doing math homework. And I'm like, okay, I'm glad that he's like doing math homework or whatever, but like also it's my time. So the math homework's going to have to, you know, wait. And then still didn't get a call. So I'm like, it's 7:02 now. And it's like, why do we have to get to that petty point of like, why does it have to be that way? But back to what I was saying, people were saying maybe he was trying to show his girlfriend that we don't even know exist for sure. Maybe he was trying to show her that like I call his phone and I text his phone, but it's always about Jackson and I'm always calling for Jackson.
Always. Like when I call, literally. And if I ever call, like when we were on vacation, Lincoln's phone wasn't charging for whatever reason and he wanted to call his dad. I FaceTimed him, which I never really do. And then he didn't answer. So I literally texted him like, it's Lincoln. Like it's for Lincoln. It's not for me. I don't want to FaceTime you.
Literally, like, stop acting like I'm trying to FaceTime you to flirt with you. Like, first of all, I look like a troll right now. Secondly, I'm just trying to get in contact with my son and see his face and make sure everything is okay. But as I was talking to my therapist, she said, you know, when you put yourself in a position that you are co-parenting, whether that be with your ex-husband, you know, former partner, whatever that looks like, if you just solely focus on the one thing that you will always share, which in my case is Jackson, then that should be the only focus and the only conversation. Mm-hmm. Because I was very jaded in the fact that I thought after some time that Will and I would be able to be friends because we have been so close to each other for 12 years of our life. I thought, you know, yeah, like falling out of love's one thing and fighting because you're no longer in love and it like just didn't work out and you both are carrying different emotions, you know, with that, whether it be anger, whatever phase of grief that you're going through. I thought once we got past that, we would be able to be friends. But what I've realized is like, that's just not in the cards.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same way for Javi and myself. Is just that we don't even need to be friends.
Doesn't that
and that's
suck,
sad.
though?
It's really sad. It's really fucking sad because when we're friends, it's so good.
And when you're not, it's so bad.
It's so bad. But part of that is me accepting that I have to take responsibility and accountability for my role in this. And part of that is, you know, I keep going back and I give reactions sometimes. That there was, when we were email only last time, we were email only for like 3-4 months. And then Javi had reached out to me and was like, I think we're in a good place now to go back to texting and have those boundaries and things like that. And so I thought that's where we were at. And then he flipped the script.
I always feel like a yo-yo for whatever reason. Like it's never consistently consistent. Like one day I might wake up and I just get like a different version of Will. And then the next day I wake up and it's like, okay, now he's morphed into like this other version and I don't know what I'm going to get each day, which is hard because I try to stay consistently consistent. Like, yeah, I'm sure he's probably like, Lindsie is such a bitch. But at the same time, like you put yourself in the situation because I react to your actions. So trying to teach someone that every action has a reaction and you don't get to determine the way someone reacts to your action is like a really hard thing. And it's so frustrating to deal with someone that does not understand that concept.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
And then also people just post in all online the picture of the dating app photos. And I'm just like, at what point?
Wait, I didn't see them.
What?
I didn't see them.
You didn't see my ex-husband and my Ford truck?
No. Can you send it to me, please?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I will definitely send it to you. Okay, but can we just, where's Kristen? Is she where
she's on producer mode, so she can't, nobody can hear her. Oh, she can't
speak. Okay. People keep messaging me like weird stuff and like,
what do you mean?
I want to say it. Should I say it?
Yeah, I need dick pics or what?
No. Oh. They just keep messaging me and telling me that this person is made up.
Who's made up?
The girlfriend.
I mean, I low-key kind of believe it is too.
But then Jackson says that her name's Tanya.
Tanya?
And I was like, who's Tanya though?
Wait, so then who's Brit?
We don't know. Like no one knows. And then someone was like, I think that he intentionally text you that. Like he's never slipped and like accidentally texted me before. So like maybe he purposely did that to get a reaction. And a lot of people were like, you know, when people have narcissistic tendencies, they're looking for a reaction. So the less reaction you give them, the better off you're going to be. And so that's something that I'm learning of like not reacting to absolutely everything.
Well,
it's
that's hard. Yeah, it's so fucking hard. It's so hard because sometimes you just want to like either kill them with kindness or you want to be a smart ass back. And at the end of the day, any type of reaction is what they're looking for. It doesn't matter. They're not actually getting the message through and you're not getting the message across, even if it feels like you are. They just want the reaction.
Yes. And I'm like, why are you looking for a reaction for me? Like, am I that entertaining? Like evidently so, because
you do have some pretty funny, like you're very witty and you have some very funny comebacks. So I'm just saying. We're back to school. I just got a KiwiCo crate delivered to my house. It's a monthly crate full of science and art projects, perfect for kids of all ages. You guys know I have 4 kids, nowhere near close in age, and there's a crate for all of them.
So I absolutely love just having these on hand for like a rainy day, or if we just don't have something to do on a weekend morning. I think these are absolutely great, and they are great to have over school breaks when you're looking for something for your kid to do. And it just helps them stay away from computer and phone screens. So I absolutely love that. Jackson and I recently, well, not really too recently, but we did the Stomp Rocket and Kites, and then you can explore the fascinating science of trees or engineer your own coin eating robot, which I thought was really cool. And every month brings a new adventure in science and art.
I also want to mention that I'm a big gift giver and these make really good gifts. So if you're looking for something different and new and exciting, and like Lindsie said, something that's going to keep your kids away from the phone, the screens, the computers, all of that, these are perfect. Your child will have so much fun learning, super cool hands-on projects, and they're delivered right to your door. Make summer a new learning adventure every month at KiwiCo. Get 50% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line with code coffee at kiwico.com. That's 50% off your first month at KIWICO.com, promo code coffee.
Outside of that negativity that I've decided was important to spew, I went to TJ Maxx. I know I told everybody in the Kitty Gang group chat that I was going to TJ Maxx Home Goods, and I just love going there and looking at all of their fall shit and buying things that I legitimately just do not need. But I'm a sucker for little decor that has silhouette pumpkins on it.
What do you mean silhouette pumpkins?
They're kind of abstract looking pumpkins, and it's not just I'll have to take pictures of these things and show you guys what this looks like. But I almost called Suburban Dad his name. He was like, you just like to get shit with pumpkins on it. You just love to get shit with pumpkins on it. And I did. I bought these cute little pillows for my front porch that I could decorate. I bought these Ray Dunn towels with little cute abstract pumpkins on them. I bought this wreath that I definitely didn't need for my front porch.
I actually want to get a wreath for my front porch.
I just like to go and buy shit for actual no real reason. I probably have so much fall shit upstairs in my storage that I could just pull out and reuse. But I'm the type of person that likes to collect things over time. So I'll put out some of my old stuff and then mix new stuff in it. And then I'll get rid of things that I no longer want that I maybe had last year that I don't want to use this year. It's a real big deal when you're talking about fall decorating around my house, because it's my favorite thing to do. But it made me think, do people decorate mostly for fall, or do people decorate more Halloween?
I would say fall probably.
Because there's some people that are super, super into Halloween. Haven't you ever gone past a house and you're okay, those people are big Halloween people?
Well, so my neighbor came over yesterday and he was like, I just want to let you know, I'm going to probably do really spooky decorations in the on the house. And I was like, that's good. I was like, my kids will love that. I said, I don't do holidays. And he's like, what? And I was like, I don't do holidays. And he's like, well, you're just that big of a Grinch. You don't do any holidays. And I was like, yeah, pretty much.
Sir,
I was like, but my kids will love your house
for Halloween. So stop talking.
Stop talking.
No, literally in my old neighborhood, Jackson's bedroom faced someone else's house. Mm-hmm. And this person was a freakazoid. And they would go out on Halloween and dress up as a scary person and scare all the kids in the neighborhood. And this is a grown adult that has no kids, just going out and scaring all the neighborhood kids. So I always thought that was a little bit strange. But every year when they would decorate for Halloween, he would make these scary posters that he would he would somehow turn a light on and it would make it look so super spooky. And so it faced Jackson's bedroom. So can you imagine being a 3-year-old little boy in your bedroom and looking out your window and seeing just scary shit?
No, that's terrifying. Lux would be like, what is going on?
I'm Helter Skelter over there, or Freddy Krueger or whatever. I'm what the actual freak? Halloween truly is just not my favorite. I don't love celebrating Halloween. I love celebrating just spending time together and getting dressed up, and that's the extent of Halloween. So I definitely decorate more in my house for more just fall style stuff. Mm-hmm. But then this led me to the fact that pumpkin spice lattes are now out. Mm-hmm. And Suburban Dad needed to let me know that he got one this morning, and I swear he's more of a girl than I am.
Well, I have to admit that I do love pumpkin spice. I did get one from Dunkin' instead of Starbucks. I'm just weird about my Starbucks, and it's just hit or miss. But also Dunkin' is hit or miss. And the one that I got yesterday was awful. It was so bad. But I'm back on coffee. Like I'm like I quit it for probably, I don't know, 6 months. I'm back on coffee officially.
That's so weird.
I tried, I tried to quit it and I didn't even mean to. And now I'm just like loving it.
Do you guys want to know what I officially quit?
What did you, Coke?
Mm-hmm.
We need to throw a party.
Like literally, like I have officially quit Coke, and I am going to tell you, my sister has said this as well. I think that my dad said it as well. After being sick with COVID, it never tasted the same.
Oh, I feel like that happened for so many things for me, especially like fast food, like McDonald's and stuff. You guys know I love McDonald's, and it has never tasted the same.
It's so weird. It's so weird. And so I then just would try to like make Coke happen and just keep trying it. And I'm like, you know what? Eventually I'm going to get my taste buds back for this. Like I really just love it so much. And then I had a Sprite one day for whatever reason. I think I had taken Jackson to get a Sprite, and I was like, I'll just get a Sprite too. And that was all she wrote. And I'm literally on the Sprite game. And it's weird because I thought about it.
There's no caffeine in Sprite.
Back in high school, if we got a soft drink, like my parents made us get Sprite. And so now I just feel like I'm kind of like reliving my high school days.
No, I can't. Sprite tastes like liquid sugar to me.
It does?
Yeah. It's just so sweet to me, and there's no caffeine in it. So what is the purpose?
See, I think it has such a good little bite.
Oh, no.
It's so good, honey. No, listen. So these pumpkin spice lattes, I need to know if everybody is like pumpkin spice latte or not, because I have never had a pumpkin spice latte, but I don't like pumpkin. So I'm thinking
don't even bother. If you don't like pumpkin, don't bother. I love pumpkin. I love pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin fucking muffins, pumpkin croissants, like whatever they can do in pumpkin. I love it.
But why? Like, what is it about pumpkin?
It reminds me of my Nana, which is my great grandmother.
So you associate the taste with a memory?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Well, for all of you pumpkin spice lovers, whether it be Starbucks or Dunkin', I hope that you enjoyed yours this morning as much as Suburban Dad enjoyed telling me about his.
Wait, before we move on, can I play this video that Creed did for Natalie?
Yep.
Oh my God, it was so fucking cute. He's talking so much, and I'm so proud. So I want to play it really quick. Can you say hi, Nana?
Hi, Nana.
Say I'm going to school.
Please, cool.
See you soon.
See you soon.
I love you.
He's doing so good.
I know.
That's so cute.
He says cool instead of school.
I'm going to school.
Cool.
That's
oh my
so
God.
precious.
I know. Okay, so what were we going to say next?
Don't you miss, like with all your other kids that outgrew the phase of like saying words wrong?
Yeah, I never correct them. And I feel like we've had this conversation, but like they're going to learn it eventually. So I'm not correcting them because it's so fucking cute.
It's so cute. And I'm just like, they're only going to be that small for so long. And Jackson still sometimes when he tries to say like a very adult word, he'll mispronounce it. And I just let it ride.
Oh, same. Lincoln said, what did Lincoln say? Lincoln called something completely the wrong name, but like he knew what he was talking about. I want to say it was yesterday or the day before, and I think it was me and Nat, and we both kind of just laughed, and we didn't correct him because I'm like, he'll figure it out. I don't remember what it was though. Yeah, same thing. Like we just let it rock because they'll figure it out.
Yeah, like I don't have the soul to be telling him,
No.
honey, you're out here trying so hard, and you just used a really big word and you botched it so bad. But I'm going to let it ride because that was so cute. And also like, I'm a proud mom. Okay. Since we're talking about our kids and how they were made, like having sex and shit.
How they were made.
I want to talk about relationship sex and like how different sex is in your 30s versus like teens and even mid-20s.
Well, for starters, teens and 20s, I mean, I told y'all already, I didn't have an orgasm until I was 21. So like for years, I was not having sex where I was getting off. And then probably most of my 20s, I didn't really focus on getting I wasn't getting off most of the time. So now in my 30s, one, I care less, I guess, about what I look like. And two, I'm getting off more often, if not every time.
I feel like it's probably because you have become more comfortable within yourself. And so that just changes the game in itself. Or maybe you just care about less things than you did when you were younger.
I mean, I'm still concerned about my boobs flopping all over the place. Just like, what the fuck do I look like? But also, I don't know, my partner now I really trust, and I feel like makes it easier to like have good sex because I know that he doesn't care how crazy I look.
Okay, well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that most men, or
Don't.
probably even the women that you've been having sex with, are not thinking about your titties flapjacking around.
Flapjacking.
Like,
goodbye.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. But sex in your 30s is so different than sex in your late teens. I didn't have sex really in my teens, but like 20s is so very different. And I don't know if it's because of the relationship that I'm in and the connection there is just very different, or the fact that I just feel like in a much better place with myself and like more confident in myself, that like that also changes the game some. I would venture out to say that majority of men, sex is sex to them and it's a physical connection. I think women connect with sex physically, but also emotionally.
Right.
But I think when you're in a relationship with someone and two people love each other pretty equally and they are both physically connecting, but also emotionally connecting, that also changes the entire sex game.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I agree with that.
Do you feel like you can tell the difference between making love and fucking?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so then tell me what the differences are.
The difference is that one of my baby dads fucked me for 5 years, figuratively and literally. And, my ex-husband was more of like a more passionate, intimate, slow situation.
Okay.
Took his time.
We're just not going to talk about Joe because that was so long ago.
Me and him didn't have sex. That was an immaculate conception.
Stop.
Because I don't consider him my ex. It's so weird. Like, I look at him and I'm like, I was never, like, that was a lifetime ago. That was like a different even lifetime. That wasn't a thing.
So it's funny because Kristen and I were talking about this, like, I don't know, we were just like talking shit on our morning catch up while she was either puking or shitting.
Oh no.
And we were like, I wonder what Kail will say about like what making love is. And Kristen was like, she's going to say it's slow.
Did I say that? I'm pretty sure I did.
Did say that.
She knows me so fucking well. It's scary.
That's so funny. But like, I don't necessarily.
It doesn't have to be slow. It doesn't have to be slow. You're right.
I don't think that it has to be slow. Now, like, I think that at the point that you start jackrabbiting, like that's just fucking immediately change the mood to fucking, right? But like, I don't know. To me, making love is the emotional connection that's going on that you both can feel at the time that you're having sex.
Like, are you looking deep in each other's eyes or no?
Wait, who was it that was having sex with someone and was like, I know exactly who it is, but I can't say it out loud because people would know her. But she was like, I was having sex with this guy and I mean, it was good and everything, but I opened my eyes and he was glaring into my eyes. And at that point, it was just like, I knew that this was never going to happen again.
What? I don't know who this is. Wait, I just read a meme or something yesterday and it was like, point of view, the guy you're hooking up with is going down on you. He glances up and you wave. I don't know why I did that.
Wait, you do this?
No, I didn't do that. But the girl said that she waved at him.
Bye. Like literally, he was going down on her and then she waved when they made eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. yeah, he should immediately have stopped then.
That's
put his
something that I
pants
would
on,
do.
hers
You
as
just,
well. And then they both should have exited the room.
immediately. Lindsie, I have a question for you. Is the piece of plastic in your wallet doing enough for you?
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, because I have to tell you about the secured Chime credit builder Visa credit card. You can start building credit every day with purchases and on-time payments. Thanks to Kristen, all my stuff has been on time because we use Chime.
That's the magic of Credit Builder. You can increase your credit history with no annual fees or interest, which is absolutely amazing. And having a higher credit score can mean getting better car loan rates, which is something that I'm currently shopping. Or if you are renting apartments, it makes it easier. Or if you're like Kail, bragging rights around the dinner table.
You know it's important to me to have the bragging rights. So continue your credit journey with Chime. Sign up takes only 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/combos. That's chime.com/combos.
The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank NA pursuant to a license from Visa USA Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive impact on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some users' scores may not improve. Immediately. Okay, so do you think that now in your 30s, you have had experience with various different types of relationships?
Absolutely.
So I feel like you're versed enough to answer this question.
I'm scared.
Do you think that in relationships that love can conquer all?
No.
Why?
Love is just not enough sometimes. You can love someone so hard, but it's kind of like, I don't want to compare it to this, but this is like the first thing that comes to mind is like when you love someone so much and you know they love you back, but say they have an addiction or something like that, and they don't want to help themselves, or debt, for example. They have this crazy debt. You're trying to help them pay it off. You can't want something more for someone than they want it for themselves. So, of course, I'm thinking of the worst things, debt, addiction, things like that. Sometimes there's just you can't get through it because you can't do it for them, and it'll keep bringing up the same. Does that make sense? Or am I crazy?
No, it does make total sense. I think that in relationships, as you get older, I think that my answer would have looked very different in my early 20s. Like, if you love them enough, then you can get through anything. And as much as I believe that love can carry you through a lot of hard situations,
yes,
I don't believe that it's the end all be all. I think that you can love someone to the greatest ability that you have to love them. But if other things are off, that love might not necessarily carry that relationship through.
I agree. That I 100% agree with. I'm trying to think of other examples that are not so extreme. But I guess that's like those are like the biggest things for me.
Well, there's a couple of things that I can think of. I could give examples. Let's say you mentioned finances. I think that is, I think I read somewhere actually that it's like the number one cause of divorce.
Oh, wow.
Is, financial things, whether it be financial struggle or just financial disagreement. I think that when you go through things with a partner that you're in love with, and maybe there's like a betrayal of some kind or whatever, like, is love going to get you through that? In some cases, I believe that it can, but in some cases, I believe when damage starts happening to a relationship, that sometimes it gets past the point of like, you can't love someone through that stuff.
I agree. I have a question for you though.
Oh God.
I feel like it's kind of related. Do you think that you could cheat on someone but actually still like love them and or be in love with them?
I do. Because I think
I have mixed feelings on it.
This is probably like unpopular opinion, but let's just say that I think if you feel like that is your person, most people are going to say, when I say this, well, if you do feel like that, then why would you put yourself in a situation to where you could lose that? But I sometimes think that when people are making these decisions, they are making these decisions out of possible fear of like, okay, I feel like this is my person and I'm so in love with them, but ultimately I feel like it's not going to work. And I think sometimes that's where cheating situations happen.
Okay. I could get behind that. I definitely, it's so tricky. I have mixed feelings on it. Like I think I don't think I could cheat on someone that I love, but I do think that people can cheat on people that they love. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think I'm one of those people. If I cheat on someone, I feel like for me, I probably am confused. I don't know how I feel, things like that. And part of me feels like it is a little bit different for men, even though it's not fair to have that double standard. I do think that men just think differently. They're wired differently. And so maybe some men can cheat on someone they love because I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it.
Again, because I also think goes back to me saying that not that it excuses a man for doing the shady shit that they do. I sound like a major man hater. But I think that if they are just physically having sex with someone and there's no emotional connection there, that in their mind that they aren't emotionally cheating, so it's okay. Like that's how they justify that.
Right. Like they're right.
You know, like it was just physical. So there was no
It's not that bad.
feelings there whatsoever. Like I wasn't emotionally connecting with that person. And it's like, okay, that's great. But I am a firm believer that when you sexually engage with someone, you're creating soul ties.
That's a whole other situation.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Tell me why.
Actually, this guy that I think I talked about him on either here or Baby Mamas, but I definitely think that we would be together if he didn't live in another state. Because that's the type of soul tie that I feel like we created when we did the nasty.
Oh, so y'all were doing the nasty regularly?
No, one time.
What?
One time, but I was like, no, like, but we had like a thing. So there was like we had a thing, and then it was like, then he had a girlfriend, and then when I was single, and then I had a boyfriend when he was single, and then finally we came together and we were both single and whatever, and we did what we did. But it was only while he came to visit, but like we had a thing. And he was the one that told me about soul ties, not me. So I don't know what bitch he was with, but he told me about it, and I was like, oh, okay.
No, I fully believe that if you, and some of it I think comes along with maturity also. Like, I don't think that that's probably the mindset when people are out just screwing around and, you know, doing whatever. And it's just like reckless and, you know, hooking up to hook up. And I'm the type of person that I believe in dating to marry, and I shouldn't be having sex with someone that
you have no intentions with.
Yes. Like that's just my mindset. That doesn't make somebody else's mindset wrong. But I believe that when you do that, you are creating soul ties with another person. And so you should be very careful about who you're engaging with in that way if you don't want your soul connected to that person.
Agreed.
Have to tell you that just want to talk about something that has been like a little bit difficult. I feel like when you are, I feel like this whole episode should just be called like 30s. Like, what's it like to be in your 30s? Because,
well, according to my son, I'm old, but he still loves me.
Thank God.
That's what he told my 5-year-old said. He's like, she's old, but I love you. And I'm like, wow.
I'm glad that you love me because I'm old. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you
so much. He asked me, do I want him to wipe my butt?
Thank you so much for me being special to you.
I'm like, Lux, I don't need anyone to wipe my butt right now.
Stop. So I feel like when you are dating or in a relationship in your 30s, and some of this could be skewed a little bit because I've been married before. And I think that when you get out of a marriage and things were so toxic, and then you went through, you know, a toxic divorce process, and then you're co-parenting and it feels very toxic, that some of my thinking might be a little bit jaded just because of my situation. But at 30 years old and dating and being in a relationship, I feel like the things that I am looking for and the boundaries that I am willing to set and live by look so very different. And because of therapy also, I feel like I want to vet every part of the process and ask all the right questions, because when I got married to Will, we didn't have financial conversations, or like we didn't have conversations about, do you like to have sex in the morning or at night? Or like, just like simple stuff that I think really does matter in the grand scheme of things. We never had any of those hard conversations. And I feel like I'm doing all of that with Suburban Dad. And it makes it hard because it creates conflict. I feel like when you're having these hard conversations and you're choosing to have these hard conversations, and you're two individuals who are established on their own, have their own things, have their own ways of doing things, it makes it very hard to share. And then you have children of your own. And so, the way that Suburban Dad does things with his kids looks differently than the way I do things with Jackson. And it doesn't make it wrong or a way that like we can't blend and do it. But also, like, it's a process, it's not just cut and dry and so easy to just be like, oh yeah, like we're going to be together and we love each other and like none of this is going to be work. I think that I was in a honeymoon phase for probably 5 or 6 months, and now we're having all the hard conversations, and it just makes it not feel so good every single day. But at the same time, it feels healthy, even though there's conflict. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I definitely feel like as we get older, those hard conversations come sooner because they're, I don't want to say more important, but when you've kind of been through some shit, you've been through relationships, you've kind of been versed enough in relationships that you don't want to find out things too late.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. And I think also when you have children that are involved, it changes the entire game. Like there's all these things that have to be figured out. And I think that when you know better, you do better, right? And so if you're not asking the hard questions, and sometimes it's creating conflict because you're asking the hard questions and you're doing all of the hard things, it makes it not feel so good every single day. And so a lot of people have been asking like, why aren't you sharing this? Or like, why aren't you sharing that? Or why haven't we seen a full face picture of him? Or, whatever. And it's not that I don't want to share those things, because just last week I was talking about how, I am totally ready to do the hard launch and like share all of these things. But at the same time, like going through the hard conversations and doing all of that every single day, sometimes I just want to actually be in my life and get through those moments. And I don't want to fake anything. And I think that people sometimes get so invested in what we call these Instagram relationships. And when you're doing all the hard work behind the scenes, it makes it really hard to share every aspect when you're putting in truly the hard work. And I don't know, like I want to do everything. Like I have such a desire to do everything the right way, because I feel like I did so many things the wrong way. That
I actually just saw what Leah had posted something about, like, she was like defending her relationship with her boyfriend or her fiance. And it's like shit like that it's like, are we prepared for that? Like that's one of those things like that we would take with the hard launch, or like putting the relationship out there, or you know what I mean?
I think that you have to be in a place that that people are going to say whatever they want to say, regardless if they are committed to like disliking whatever they see, and that's their commitment. You're not going to change that. And I think that you have to be comfortable when you start sharing that people are going to have differing opinions, and that's okay. It does make it a little scary though, knowing that you basically feel like you are being held accountable to a whole group of people who follow you, that are going to follow every aspect of your relationship, the good, the bad, the ugly, the disappointments, and there's unfortunately people on social media that are literally looking for your downfall. And then you've got your cheerleaders, but it still makes it difficult across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. Okay, you guys, do you ever get tired of a good whodunit? Because you'll love June's journey. You play as June Parker, an amateur detective on a quest to solve the murder of her sister and uncover her family's many secrets. And you'll need to find objects devilishly hidden in intricate scenes full of the little details before the timer runs out. A variety of game modes and puzzles await. This is perfect, right up Lindsie and I's alley.
I love being a detective at all times, and to be able to engage in a game like this, I absolutely love it. So if you're like us and you're craving a good mystery, or you just feel like you need to get away for a while, June's Journey would be the perfect game for you. They have tons of fun and unique features to keep you entertained. You can chat and play with or against other players by joining a detective club, which I think is really cool. And you'll even get the chance to play in a detective league and put your skills to the test. So you guys should definitely try it. Help June relive some of her fondest memories with the new memoir feature, and you can piece together her past and complete gorgeous albums and unlock exclusive rewards like island beautifications. This game's graphics are absolutely beautiful, and it's just so much fun to let your imagination run wild by decorating and structuring your island to your own taste. So like I said, if you're like Kail and I and you love a good mystery or to play detective, this is the perfect game for you.
So find your inner detective, download June's Journey today, available on Android and iOS mobile devices, as well as on PC through Facebook Games. You definitely want to check this out.
I'm Lola Blanc.
And I'm Megan Elizabeth.
And we're the hosts of Trust Me, Cults, Extreme Belief, and the Abuse of Power right here on Podcast One.
Don't miss our latest episode with Tara and Newell,
real life hero of the Dirty John podcast.
So he gets me and grabs me by the waist and looks me in the eye and says, "Do you remember me?" And I wasn't able to run away from him, so I started fighting.
Get new episodes of Trust Me on Podcast One, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I think that we don't have time for anything else. I wanted to play this TikTok, but I don't think that we have time for it. But we do have time for foul play.
Okay. Well, we can do the TikTok next time because I feel like evergreen. It's not timely.
Yep. That's perfect.
Do you want to read the foul play or do you want me to read it?
No, I like when you read them because I can't follow.
Okay.
ADD.
First of all, I just wanted to say how much I love this podcast, Lindsie, Kail, and all of the fuckery that comes along with it. With that said, I would love to hear y'all's reaction to my foul play. So I too am in the club with Kail. When I have to shit, I have to shit. I used to work about 45 minutes away from home. My best friend and I would always have phone conversations while I was on my way to and from work. I always thought about how it would really suck if I had to go to the bathroom on my drive since I'm so far from work or home. Well, one day it happened. I was about 20 minutes away from home while I was on the phone with my friend, who is a gay male, so some things you just keep to yourself. I all of a sudden got the urge like I had diarrhea. I got goosebumps, stomach cramps, and started sweating and began to think, oh no, it's coming. Luckily, within a few minutes, that feeling subsided. Okay, well, I'm going to pause right there because it subsides and then it comes back with vengeance. I know from experience. Okay, so, now I'm about 5 minutes from home and all of a sudden the feeling hit again and now I'm stuck in traffic. Unbeknownst to my friend, while he's chatting up a storm about something else that I can't even concentrate on because all I can do is focus on not shitting my pants in my car. I roll my windows down and try to engage in the conversation to take my mind off shitting my pants, telling myself I'm close to home, and if I really have to, I'll use the quick check bathroom, New York's version of Wawa. Oh, that's nice. That's within distance. I could see past the traffic. Without even thinking, diarrhea just comes pouring out of my butt and is running down my leg all over my car. I lied to friend on the phone and tell him I'm home and have to go. I'm still about 5 minutes from my house. I immediately hang up and call my husband, who's home. When he answers, I just shit my pants. And he said, why? What happened? So he probably thinks that thinking I just got scared or something, right? I then said, no, I literally just shit my pants. And he started dying laughing. I started crying, and then he tried to calm me down, saying it's okay, it happens, and to come home and get in the shower. So I pull up at home. I live in an apartment building, but of course the UPS driver is at the front of my building delivering packages, and I can't run past him because I smell like pure shit and have diarrhea running down my scrubs. Luckily, they were black scrub bottoms. So I have to run around my building and call my husband to open the back door. I run up our stairs and tell my husband to stand away from the door so he doesn't smell my shit as I run straight to the bathroom. As I run into my bathroom, my husband already has the shower running and a garbage bag open for me to throw my shitty scrubs out. He's such a keeper, but of course I will never be able to live this down. And hours after I finally cleaned everything up, my husband starts laughing about it again. And now I'll never be able to live it down. But of course, in good spirits. Oh my God, that's horrible.
I told you the only time that I have ever shit myself was when I had
you were sick.
A virus. I must have been like in second or third grade. And my mom went to like the bread store and was driving to my grandmother's house, and I shit myself in the back seat of her Honda. And like
Honda.
That's the only time I think I've ever shit myself in my life, but it was such a traumatic experience. Like, I feel like once you've done that, you never want to do that again.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it as an adult and I never want to do it again, but for some reason it keeps happening. So
did it happen at all on your trip?
No, I actually haven't shit myself in a long time. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
I feel bad for this lady, because I think every person that's ever had a virus or, possible IBS, they know what the goosebumps feeling feels like, and the stomach cramps. And when you start sweating and you have to take a shit, like, you literally just have to go. The only person that I know that has issues like this could possibly be Suburban Dad and my ex-husband and Kail. So,
so basically I'm a man. Okay. So got it.
Basically pretty much everyone that I know. Second foul play. It says, "Ooh boy, strap in for this one. I have some foul play. My ex and I split in late 2019, and it did not end well because I found out he was cheating when I had cervical cancer from HPV. I dumped his ass and informed him I was moving out, and he started bringing home girls that started bringing home girls that night before I could even get packed up. This was after he drained my bank account earlier that day. Let's just say went full on crazy. I spent a whole day packing while purposely dehydrating myself, like my kidneys were hurting. I peed in a cup when I could and poured it down the vents. I peeled back the carpet in his closet and put it on the floor. I took some ghost peppers I grew that summer and put them in a hot tub filter. I knew it worked because the next day some random was crying in the backyard. For the grand finale, I noticed the weather was going to be absolutely perfect. I found some pot seeds and planted them in the back corner of the garden and reported it 2 weeks later. He worked for the government, and it didn't end well for him. I had to lose an organ and the ability to have children, as well as my life savings. He could lose his job. To add insult to injury, I put him on a mailing list for Scientology. Once they have your name, they will never leave you alone. I hope you found my story funny. Feel free to share my revenge. Maybe don't mention my name, though. I've literally never shared this with anyone." Okay. I have a couple of things that I need to say about this.
No, it's funny, but it's not funny because I need to know where she came up with these ideas.
Okay. I need to go all the way back to like the first sentence. So
like, hold on.
She said that he was cheating and gave her cervical cancer from HPV. So how did that just like turn into cancer?
HPV can turn into cancer.
But like that fast?
No, it could have taken years.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think for everybody it's different. I think for some people it happens quicker, and then for other people it could happen over years and years. And I think for some people you could have HPV but never have cervical cancer. Like, I think there's there's levels to it.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Okay. The fact that he would have had to have known this information, that he had given her HPV, and she dumped him, and then he was bringing girls home before she could even get packed up. Like, that
Fuck
is
him.
A next level of disrespect. Like, as if it wasn't already disrespectful enough. Like, that's so disrespectful.
Fuck him.
Draining someone's bank account after you literally give them HPV.
Fuck him. Like, he's literally the spawn of Satan.
Dude, like, you're so foul. But then also, the fact that she purposely dehydrated herself so that her piss would be foul, and then she poured it down vents and peeled back carpet.
Okay, so if you dehydrate yourself, the pee is worse?
Yeah, and it's like dark.
So it smells worse?
I think so.
Got it. Okay, because I was wondering why you would purposely dehydrate yourself, but okay, that makes sense now.
And then peeled back carpet on the floor. Like, where did all of these ideas come from? Like,
well, I need to know. This is a movie. She needs to be the star of the movie.
I get being pissed off, and like, rightfully so, have every right to be pissed off. But like, the fact that like peeling back carpet and dehydrating yourself and also taking ghost peppers and doing all this like weird shit. You know, the best one to me really is putting someone on a mailing list for Scientology. Like, that's probably my favorite one of all.
Honestly, they're all my favorite. I mean, I don't know that I would ever do it. I've never done anything like absolutely crazy except for break a laptop that I bought. But I mean,
if I buy it, I can break it.
I don't know. You literally gave her HPV and cancer. You drained her bank account. Like, I don't feel bad for anything she did to you. I want to know where she got the ideas, because I feel like they're a little crazy.
Yeah.
But I want to know. And like, I don't know.
Write in and tell us like where you got these ideas, because if you came up with them on your own, you're the best breakup friend to like exist. So hit me in my DM. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Maybe I can pull some of these scams on a couple of people that I know. Outside of that, and, you know, just being a scam, I hope that everybody has a very blessed and great week. If you don't want it to be a blessed week, make it be great. And if you have not followed us on @CoffeeConvos Podcast on Instagram, make sure you follow us over there. And if you have not subscribed to our show, you can find us on any podcast app, and always first on Podcast One. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Saddle up and get ready for Westerns Weeks on Pluto TV, all for free. We're coming in blazing with favorites like True Grit and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Or immerse yourself in binge-worthy series like Yellowstone and Walker, Texas Ranger. Plus, Pluto TV has hundreds of channels with thousands more movies, TV shows, and more. The best part? It's free. No credit card, no sign-up, no fees. Download the Pluto TV app on all your favorite devices and start streaming now.